Chapter 5, The Train Engineer, The Power of Suggestion versus the Power of Affirmation. This method includes the entire field of suggestion and affirmation. And this is the reason why suggestion plays such an important part of human life. Every suggestion that is given to our minds will impress the subconscious to a degree, whether that suggestion comes from our own thought or from other people, books, pictures, scenes, circumstances, events, or conditions. It is highly important, therefore, to guard the subconscious from every suggestion that is not beneficial, and we can do this by taking the law of suggestion into our own hands. That is, by giving the subconscious suggestions of our own that are both stronger than and better than the suggestions that may come from other sources. When we become adults, we do things automatically, having been trained into the way to do things. It isn't until somebody asks you why you do things the way you do it that you stop and think about it. Many times, it's your first roommate or spouse who asks you about your routines. For me, it was my husband asking me pointedly one day, "Cheryl, do you really like chicken wings?" I had to stop and think about it. I thought I did because that was what I always chose. But then I realized that as a child, my dad kept telling me that I liked chicken wings over and over. And undoubtedly it was because he liked the chicken breasts. So by training me, he didn't have to worry that I might choose what he wanted. Clever. And it took me until adulthood to figure it out. After that, I started to look at other ways in which people made suggestions that trained me. My mother would often say, "Cheryl, wouldn't you like to go to the gardens?" I realized that she wanted to go and was using power of suggestion on me. I was happy to take her, even after I learned it was her way of using the power of suggestion to get what she wanted. The biggest use of power of suggestion is advertising. We must be careful to learn the power of advertising and not to let it influence us negatively. Today's advertising has extended to pharmaceuticals, in which advertisements that talk about various symptoms and then providing a drug that is prescribed for the system, telling you to go see your doctors about these symptoms. These ads do work, as doctors report that patients come in describing these exact symptoms and even have written down the pharmaceutical that was advertised. We must be diligent in our awareness of our own bodies in order not to be lulled into the power of suggestion by advertising. Exercise number 9. Examine your choices. Enter into a meditative, quiet state of being. Allow your mind to be clear of worries and duties and to fully relax your body. Acknowledge that in your daily life you are constantly making choices. Think about one of these choices, for instance, where you sit at breakfast every morning. Was this place to sit a conscious choice? How did this decision originate? Perhaps you recently made a purchase. Did you make the purchase based on conscious choice, or were you influenced by other people or advertising? Focus on one or two major choices in your life. Were these choices made consciously or just by going along with the flow? Notice if there is a pattern in how you make choices. Do you make choices based on coercion? Do you make choices based on indecision? Do you make choices based on fear? How can you make choices that are fully in line with your own desires? Do not mentally punish yourself for choices made in the past. Acknowledge the choices with gratitude, for they are part of your learning process. The idea is to train our mind to take note when we make a decision and that it is a conscious choice. Making conscious choices leads to living a conscious life. We have just finished the exercise and are now returning to the text of the book. How to discern the best possible choice. When two opportunities present themselves, there ought to be some way to tell which one will prove most valuable. There ought to be some way, and there is. We have the faculty of judging properly, and when this faculty is well developed, our decisions and selections will be right. To develop this faculty is so important, the matter should receive our daily attention. The use of this faculty in time of need will provide a priceless boon to millions. When you have something to decide, something of great importance, but do not know what decision to make, just drop the matter for a while. Try to give the faculty of judgment and decision the most perfect expression possible. Continue to this for a few hours or a few days. If you can put off the decision that long, then take up the problem. If the faculty is sufficiently perfected, you will know almost at once what course to pursue, and you will lose all desire for other plans. You will soon bring this part of your consciousness up to the desired state of lucidity, and the decision will be made. After this, you will rejoice in this course every day. Those who have tested this method claim it is a mine of gold. It works perfectly every time. When we take the law of suggestion into our own hands, our own suggestions become affirmations. We do not simply suggest what we desire or expect, but we affirm what is. We claim our own to be our own, and in that manner, our own is called forth from the great within. Affirmations act directly and are therefore more powerful than suggestions. For the same reason, affirmations produce results in far less time. Another method is to concentrate attention upon the subconscious while clearly holding in mind what we wish the subconscious to do. In this manner, we impress the subconscious with the idea we desire to have carried out. That is, we send the idea into the subconscious by the power of concentrated attention. This method is very effective, but the mind can employ it only to advantage when in the field of the finer forces. When the mind is impressed with the finer things of life, this method may be employed with most excellent results. When we concentrate attention upon the subconscious, we should remember that the subconscious is a finer mental world that feels through and through every part of the human system. And we should try to impress upon that whole of this mind the idea we wish to carry out. To think deeply and feelingly about what we wish the subconscious to do will frequently cause the subconscious to do it. In like manner, what we expect the subconscious to do will generally be done, especially if our expectation is strong and of the whole heart. When we state either mentally or verbally, "My subconscious will do this for me," we give it directions in an indirect way, and those directions will usually be carried out providing we feel real confidence in the subconscious when the directions were given. To speak to the subconscious as you would do to a friend is also permissible, and it is a method that will prove highly beneficial to many. Though in the use of this method, we must not think of the subconscious as a separate self. The subconscious is a much larger self than the outer self, but is not separate. It is simply a larger part of the one self. We can, however, give the subconscious directions as we would a trusted friend, but these directions must not take the form of command. They should be full of faith and feeling, but should not be forced. Tell your subconscious what you want it to do, and believe that it will do exactly as you say. Tell it gently, and know that you can trust it as you trust yourself, because it is yourself, and you will invariably have results. When you fail, try again. Continue to direct the subconscious to do what you want done until you have the results you desire. Failure comes not because the subconscious refuses to obey, but because the subconscious mind has not received your orders. When the subconscious receives your orders, they will be carried out. To properly convey your desire to the subconscious is the secret, and it is well to have many methods, using the one now that we feel would prove most effective now. At another time, another method might be better, but the method we feel is the best now is generally the method we should employ now. The more we practice the art of impressing and directing the subconscious, the more proficient we become in this art. And as the subconscious is immeasurable and inexhaustible, there can be neither limit nor end to the possibilities of this art. It holds the key to a future more marvelous than the mind can picture. Exercise number 10. Give the subconscious orders. Decide what you want done, what ideas you want, what ability you want, what efficiency you want, and what capacity you want, or what endurance you want. Give the subconscious full directions in a firm but convincing manner. Remember to add the elements of time and quality. Give these directions several times a day. Do not worry about how the results will appear. That is the job of the subconscious to figure out. Your job is to decide what to manifest and then turn over to the subconscious to provide the solution. We have just finished the exercise and are now returning to the text of the book. Give your mind orders as to what results you want, and when you are ready for what you wanted, it will be there. Your mind will be on hand with the goods you ordered. When you have something special to do and a new set of plans are needed, tell your mind to go to work and produce those plans. Expect those plans to be forthcoming and give your thought, for the time being, to something else. During the interval, the subconscious idea factory will take up your proposition, and in due time the plans you ordered will be ready for delivery. Carry out the same method with regard to anything you may want. Submit every proposition you meet to the subconscious of your mind. Know there is an answer, and your mind can find it in every case. You have a problem to solve, tell your mind to find the solution. Then go about your business. Don't worry about the ways and means. Know that your mind is equal to every occasion. Just give the orders and expect results. You will not be disappointed.